Today we are going to see about Salesforce Winter 25 release notes and especially the updates related to Salesforce flows. So I took this particular update here, create or update records efficiently with the create records element. Always I try to showcase the update how it works before the Salesforce release and after the Salesforce release. So let's see. This example introduce one registration, simple registration form which has first name, last name, and email. So the customer will enter the information, and the Salesforce has to create the contact record. So I use the create contact, like create record elements in order to perform that insert DML operations. So I just mapped all the screen elements with the contact record fields. So let's see how it works. So I'm just entering first name, last name, and then email. So I'm just refreshing this contact page here. So one contact record got created. I'm going to just introduce, like, create another record using the same last name and same email ID, and then refresh the page over here. So Salesforce created two duplicated records. So how we can avoid this previously? We have to just query all the existing contact records in Salesforce and then match that particular contact record either by using the last name, email, or any other external ID or something in order to figure out which one is duplicate. So once we found, okay, these are the duplicate records, then we have to introduce a conditional element in order to just segregate. We can do the insert operation or we can do the update operation. So this will involves like two different DML, which will be like increase in the consumption of Garner limits. But yeah, this is what the problem is. So Salesforce introduced one solution to solve this particular issue. That is this create or update records efficiently with the create records element. So let's see how to solve this problem by using the new Salesforce release update. So I just use the same kind of application screen, whatever we covered in the first part. And next one is create record contact. I just drag and drop the same field mapping things. So this is the new update feature, check for matching records. I just enabled it, and then the duplicate criteria is email as well as the last name. So if the duplicate criteria matches, what we can do, so we can either update the matching record or we can skip the matching record. For example, consider there are like a 10 fields in this particular screen. If the email ID matches, I just want to update all the remaining 9 field values with the matching records. So then we have to select update the matching record. Otherwise, if I don't want to do that, I can just skip the matching record. So if the multiple matching records exist, for example, if there's like 5 contact records under my name and email, so I can either update the most recently modified matching record or I can skip the matching record. So let's see how it works. Just stays the same. So let's try to update the record here. I just provided my nickname, but the last name and the email ID stays the same. Just refresh this one. Yeah, it just updated the last modified record, the recent record. Okay, so it didn't create the new one. So this is how the Salesforce prevents the duplicate records, and also it also allows us to do the upsert operation instead of doing two different YAMLs. So if you noticed here, I didn't activated this particular flow. So always keep in mind you don't have to activate your flow in order to run or debug or else to find the errors. You can simply run the flow according to the latest version. And also you can notice they have introduced a new button called save as new version. This is also newly introduced. And Salesforce introduced another small UI features, like you can see the errors or warnings in this particular tab itself. You don't have to run the particular flow in order to see the whole error. And sometimes after activating the flow we will get the error in that page. That will be a kind of a pain point. And another one we can notice Salesforce introduce the tips tab over here at the corner. So this one is saying like avoid using database elements inside the loop. Yeah. So this error is so familiar for the experienced admin or developers, but it will be still new for the freshers, right? So if we don't have to introduce this, we should not introduce the DML operation inside the for loop. So if you accidentally introduce and activated the flow and fit in the production, it will easily consume the governor limits. It will cross the governor limits. That's why we should not use it. So Salesforce will show some of the tips or warnings kind of messages at the bottom. So these are some of the UI related updates Salesforce released. So we already saw how the duplicate rule works if we select an object over here. So let's see the second option from a record variable. So I selected this record variable option and I have the record collection here. So then I can see update existing records option. If I enabled it, so we can update the existing records if it matches with that particular criteria. So what is the criteria? I can either select record ID or external ID or standard field. So all standard fields are not supported. It only supported few fields. So let me know in comments what are those fields. So record ID is a unique ID for every record. You already knew. Uh, External ID is like for example, if I'm integrating Salesforce with SAP, I will use SAP number as external ID as a kind of a unique ID which matches with our Salesforce and also with the SAP. That is called external ID. So we can use that or a standard field. So based on this, we can just identify the existing records. Previously, we used your last name and email ID, right? So that is the similar to that. We can use record ID or external ID or standard field. So what if the record matches? What shall we do? So we can do two different things. One is doing the entire rollback operation, or we can do the partial operation. For example, we can consider there are 100 records, 100 DML. So only 50 updates are getting successful. So we can either successfully update 50 records or we can skip all the 100 records. We cannot proceed with the DML operations. So these are the two operations. These are the two kind of options they provided. That's it. Yeah. So please subscribe the channel if you find it helpful, and also please don't forget to post your question or comments. Thank you. Bye.